My name is Emily. I live in a small house near the sea. The town is quiet. People here are kind. I work at a small bakery. I bake bread, cakes, and cookies every morning. The bakery smells sweet. It is warm and full of love. Every day, I see the ocean. The waves move slowly. The sky is big and blue. Sometimes I sit by the shore and watch the water. It makes me feel calm. One morning, I was sitting by the sea with a cup of tea. The wind was soft. A young man walked by. He looked at me and smiled. "Hello," he said. "Hi," I replied. "My name is Liam," he said. "Do you live here?" "Yes," I said. "My name is Emily. I live just up the road." He sat on the sand not far from me. We talked for a few minutes. He told me he was new in town. He worked as a fisherman. His boat was small, but he loved the sea. "I love the sea too," I said. We both looked at the waves. For a moment, we said nothing, but the silence felt good. From that day, Liam came to the shore often. Sometimes he brought coffee. Sometimes I brought cookies from the bakery. We talked about many things, our lives, our dreams, our favorite songs. I liked his laugh. It was soft and kind. One day he said, "I look forward to seeing you every morning." My heart felt warm. "Me too," I said. Days turned into weeks. We spent more time together. We walked by the sea in the evenings. He told me stories about the stars. I told him about my childhood and the bakery. Everything felt simple and good. One evening, we sat close. The sun was going down. The sky was orange and pink. "Emily," Liam said, "I want to tell you something." I looked at him. His eyes were serious. "I think I'm falling in love with you," he said. I felt my heart beat faster. I smiled. "I think I feel the same," I said. He took my hand. We sat there in silence, the sea in front of us, our hands together. It was a perfect moment. From then on, we were together. We didn't say it, but we both knew. We were in love. But life is not always simple. One morning, Liam looked worried. I asked him what was wrong. "There is a storm coming," he said. "I need to go out early and bring the boat back before it hits." "Be careful," I said. "The sea can be dangerous." He smiled. "I will be okay. I've done this before." He kissed my forehead and walked away. That was the last time I saw him. The storm came in the afternoon. The sky turned dark. The wind was strong. The sea was wild. I stood by the window looking for his boat. I waited for hours, but it never came back. The next day, I went to the dock. People were talking in low voices. "Did you hear about the small boat?" someone said. "It didn't return." My hands shook. I asked the man, "Do you know the name of the boat?" "Yes," he said. It was Liam's. My heart dropped. I ran to the sea. The waves were calmer now, but there was no sign of him. I waited for days. I hoped he would come back, but he didn't. The police said they found some parts of the boat, broken and wet, but they never found Liam. I could not believe it. My heart broke. I stayed home for many days. I didn't go to the bakery. I didn't eat much. I cried every night. One evening, I walked to the shore. I sat in our usual place. The sea was quiet now. The sun was low. I closed my eyes. "I miss you," I whispered. "Why did you go?" The wind moved through my hair. I thought of his laugh, his smile, his hand in mine. I felt lost. Liam was gone, but the sea was still here, and so was I. Every morning after Liam disappeared, I went to the sea. I sat in the same place where we used to talk. I brought a small cup of tea, like before, but now I sat alone. The waves still came. The sky still changed colors, but my heart felt empty. People in town were kind. They said, "I'm so sorry, Emily." They brought bread, soup, and flowers, but no words could bring Liam back. At night, I dreamed about him. In my dreams, we were walking on the sand. He smiled at me and said, "Everything is okay." But when I woke up, he was gone again. One day, I went back to the bakery. The owner, Mrs. Rose, hugged me. "You don't have to come back yet," she said. "I need to," I replied. "I want to do something with my hands." So I baked bread again. I made cookies and cakes. The smell of sugar and cinnamon filled the air. It felt strange, but also good. The bakery was warm and busy. It helped me feel normal again. Little by little, I started talking to people more. I smiled again, just a little. But every time I walked by the sea, I felt that space in my heart, the space where Liam lived. One evening, I found a small notebook near our spot by the sea. It was wet on the edges, but the pages inside were safe. I opened it and saw Liam's handwriting. It said, "If something happens to me, don't be sad. Look at the sea and smile." I was doing what I loved. My hands shook. I sat down on the sand. Tears ran down my cheeks. I held the notebook close to my chest. He had written this for me. He knew the sea was strong. He knew the risks. But he still smiled every day. I read the notebook again and again. There were small notes, sketches of boats, short poems. On the last page, he wrote, "Dear Emily, if I had more time, I would have said this. Thank you for the mornings, the talks, the smiles. You made my life full of light. I love you." I cried, but I also smiled. Liam had left me a gift. His words were still with me. The next day, I told Mrs. Rose, I wanted to do something new. "I want to open a small cafe by the sea," I said. She looked surprised. "Are you sure?" "Yes," I said. "I want to make a place where people can sit, watch the waves, and feel peace." Mrs. Rose smiled. "That's a beautiful idea." With her help, I found a small wooden cabin near the beach. It was old but strong. The windows looked out at the sea. I painted the walls soft blue. I added wooden tables and white chairs. I placed flowers on every table. In the corner, I left a shelf with books and Liam's notebook. I called it the Quiet Shore. On the first day, I opened the door at sunrise. The sky was golden. People from town came in. They drank tea and coffee. They ate cakes and bread. They looked out at the sea. Some people came alone. Some came with friends. One woman sat near the window every morning and read a book. A young boy came with his grandfather to eat cookies. The cafe became full of life, and so did I. I did not forget Liam. I never will. But now, when I think of him, I smile more. I remember the way he looked at the stars. I remember how he loved the sea. And I remember how he made me feel loved. One morning, a man came into the cafe. He had salt in his hair and wind on his face. "Good morning," I said. "Good morning," he replied. "It smells nice in here." He ordered coffee and sat by the window. The next day, he came again, and again the day after. His name was Noah. He was quiet but kind. He read books about the ocean. Sometimes he helped me carry boxes or fix small things in the cafe. We talked about music, books, and dreams. He never asked about my past, and I didn't ask about his. We just talked, slowly, simply, and kindly. One day, it rained all morning. The cafe was quiet. Noah stayed and helped me wash dishes. I looked at him and said, "Thank you for being here." He smiled. "This place feels like home." I looked out at the sea. The waves were soft. The sky was gray. And for the first time in a long time, I felt peace. Love is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet and gentle, like waves that come and go, like words written in a notebook, like tea shared on a rainy day. I still go to the sea every morning. I still bring a cup of tea. I sit in our old spot and say, "Good morning, Liam." But now I also smile at the sky, because love doesn't end. It changes. It grows. It teaches us how to feel and how to heal. And I know that I will be okay. The sea is still here, and so am I. And the waves still come.